gotta be kidding me! Hey, what's going on YouTube? We are back at it again today, looking at the Keystone Master achievement. What it is, how you get it, the do's and don'ts of Group Finder, and why we look so damn good on that mount. Kick it, Barry. Before we get started, I'd like to take a second to thank the sponsor of this video, and that is my Twitch stream. Without the love and support of the nation, there's no way I could do the videos that I do, so thank you guys so much. Alright, let's first get the what is it out of the way for those of you who may not be aware. Keystone Master is the ahead of the curve achievement, if you will, for Mythic Plus runners. You get it for completing each dungeon in time on a 15 or higher and are awarded the Sintouched Deathwalker mount for completing it. Your IO will roughly be around 1300 upon completing this achievement, and hopefully only just be getting started on your long and successful Keystone crushing journey. I guess that kind of does answer how you get it as well. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward achievement. However, I am going to give you guys some points of finesse, as well as some tips and tricks on how to avoid stress when dealing with the infamous Group Finder. Number 1. Know the routes. It doesn't matter if you're a tank, DPS, healer, support, middle lane. Wait, now I'm getting into other video games. Take time to make sure you understand where the plan will lead you so you can more efficiently coordinate cooldowns, interrupts, CCs, etc. to move through the dungeon with a swift and successful pace. Historically, it's been the tank's job to plan the pulls, but it's just as important for the team to be ready for each encounter. I regularly update the import files for Mythic Dungeon tools in the Rage Den Discord channel, so if you're a new Dungeoneer and would like to use those tools to help your runs, you can grab a link to the channel in the description below or at RagingBeardedScot.gg. Number 2. Bring Consumables! My rule of thumb for Keystones is I only use raid Consumables in Discord for Keystones I want to time. It's simple as that. I know it's expensive, but taking Alchemy will help your flask go the extra distance with the 2-hour buff instead of just 1. Oh, speaking of Discord, number 3. Use it! I can't even begin to explain how uncanny it is that I still get resistance in 15s to use Discord from DPS that don't even look at the route. Easiest way to grab a boot from a key is if you are resistant to listening in Discord. A good tank will provide you with a route, a great tank will provide you with a cadence in Discord as you move through the dungeon to prepare you for upcoming kicks, pulls, and prideful spawns, allowing the team to focus more heavily on pumping out the numbers. It is a no-brainer. Number 4. Know your group. No, that does not mean sending Christmas cards to their parents or being childhood pen pals, but know what cooldowns you have at your disposal when attacking a dungeon. Each dungeon this expansion has its own set of extremely lethal encounters that require more than just overwhelming damage to tackle, though those kinds of DPS numbers never hurt. This means that as somebody listing a key or queuing into one, you need to know before getting into a dungeon if your team has the toolkit to tackle the key in time, or if it would be more worth your time to step out. You don't need to know the whole class, but knowing things like priests have mass dispels, druids can dispel curses in any form, DHs and shamans can purge abilities off of enemies, and paladins can bubble an ally to nullify all incoming physical damage. Those are just some easy ways to enhance your own performance by knowing your allies. Number 4. Use that friends list. I've said it a number of times on stream, but even for people pugging keys, the higher IO you go, the smaller the pug group becomes. You start to see the same names in queue more often than not at those higher levels, and if the players are solid, add them to your friends list. It gives you a list of go-to players in a pinch if you need a surefire slot filled for a certain key. Remember to both offer that other players add you to their BNet at the end of a successful key, as well as asking them if you can do the same before sending them a request. And since we're now discussing some of the etiquette in Keystones, let's rapid fire go through a few points to make your LFG experience less stressful while ensuring you keep your name in high standing. Use notes, don't whisper. I ignore 100% of the whispers I get when listing a key. I look at 100% of the notes people put when they queue. One is annoying, one is helpful. Mistakes happen. Admit fault even if it ruins the run. Becoming hostile and defensive when the keystone is already spent just ensures players will avoid you in the future. The pool only gets smaller, don't contribute to that in a negative way. Be able to recognize servers that could cause you high ping like Frostmourne or Barthilas, which are OCE servers, as well as those who may present language barriers when trying to coordinate, such as Ragnaros, Kel'Thalas, Nemesis, Azurilon, Drakari, Goldrin, and Christ if I remember the other ones, but those are the big ones. Solid players, little ability to communicate almost always means a scuffed key. Keep a level head in high-stress situations and never hesitate to say things like "great job, team" to keep the morale of the group high. It helps, believe it or not, and nothing feels as toxic in a group as assuming success. Applaud success, steer towards it, but, and this brings me to my next point, your IO is only built on 8 scores. You will have a significantly higher failure to win ratio on Keystones. People don't just stumble into 15 or even 1300 IOs. It takes hard work and dedication, no different than progression rating. It is 1 kill to significantly more wipes. Offer suggestions and not criticisms. When a keystone is over, regardless of whether we time it or burn the key, I always try to ask my team what they would have done differently. The keystone process is an adaptive one, and every member participating in it should be as well. Make sure to be constructive in your recommendations and really look into the route. A player that shows that level of determination and failure is one I want next to me during success. Don't ostracize your audience by doing meta listings. You can have a preference, but listing a 12 key looking for only a Vengeance Demon Hunter or a Prot Pally ostracizes the 1500 Brewmaster that maybe wants a trinket out of that dungeon, or the 1700 Guardian Druid that maybe just wants to work on a more meta route for his 18 key. Lastly, and this is one I had to learn over and over again myself, the meta is an indicator of their skill level and not yours. Let me rephrase that just so we can really drive this point home. There are keystones out there in the world that require a meta group. You and I and 98% of the other people running keystones out there, we don't have those keystones in our possession and have likely never even stepped foot in one. Therefore, groups that list keys looking only for Vengeance Demon Hunters or unwilling to accept any Feral Druids or Enhanced Shamis are really just showing their mental capacity and foresight and saying nothing about you or your spec's potential. If you find this to be the case over and over again, turn to your friends list or push up your own key. Let your IO be the victory flag as you rush past those groups as they focus on the what and not the why. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and that some of these tips, tricks, and etiquette pointers help you on a stress-free and enjoyable experience on your way to Keystone Master and hopefully beyond. We just got another follower on Twitch. If they did, please make sure to hit that like button, hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe. It helps me out more than you could know. If you really like what you see here, you can catch me live on Twitch from 5 p.m. EST until who knows when, Monday through Saturday. I hope you guys have a great one. Take care of each other, and remember, we rage because we care.